surprised.
You know the blacks. I met a lot of blacks when I was in the joint. I was in the clink, folks. And I met a lot of blacks there. And they were all pretty cool, actually, to me. And so, you know, you could say that now I'm black. You could say that now I'm also a black guy.
Yeah.
Folks.
Well, you know, Bill Clinton, he was the first one. They say he was the first.
They say he's the first black president. Obama, not actually black.
It was the other guy, it was Obama, but you know what? I don't like talking about Obama, so let's stop. I'm basically the first. Yeah,
Obama wasn't actually black. He's not black, folks. Come on.
You know, I talked to black people that say that I'm actually blacker than Obama is. So maybe I'm the first black president.
You know, I am in a lot of rap lyrics. I will say this. I am in a lot of rap lyrics. They reference me quite a bit. Those people reference me in their lyrics of their rap songs. I took a pretty substantial break from from yelling at people on the internet about the Israel-Palestine stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, because I'm not okay. Like, you know, if I say something and you say something back that is specifically something that I've heard before, right? Mm-hmm. Because that's the real thing. It's like, dude, I swear to God, the Zionist talking points, there's like 5 of them, and I've heard them all multiple times.
Israel has the right to exist.
Sure.
Israel has the right to defend itself.
Yes.
The Hamas uses human shields.
Yes. October 7th was uniquely bad.
Okay, and then I haven't really heard that one much, but what's...
that one's everywhere. That's the main one. And then number 5 is where were you when all of the other genocides were happening, which is my favorite one. That's my favorort one, because that
sitting
one
here not knowing about them mostly from our media's lack of fucking coverage.
This is what was so fucked up. Is it the first time I heard that one? Because I've heard that one multiple times, which is so telling on yourself, right? It's such a, like, oh, where were you when all the other genocides were? Okay, so you're admitting it's a genocide now. So we're now talking on that level now. Yes? Okay. Right? But then they back on, then they go away. And you say that, right? They don't, you know, I don't know what you're supposed to say that makes them think that they win with that one, right? I don't know, okay? But it's like, where were you when because it's anti-Semitism, right? They're accusing of anti-Semitism because it's like, where were you when in the genocides in Myanmar or Sudan or Armenia or whatever. There's like 2 or 3 more that I'm blanking on now, but I actually know them, right? Like, that's the thing. Right. It's like, you're actually talking to one of the Americans that does stay informed on this kind of shit. And like, what's funny
I'll admit, I've heard of those, but I really don't know anything about them. But I will say the main differences would be that our media coverage on this has been pretty much nonstop, whereas media coverage on what's going on in Azerbaijan or whatever, it's like few and far between as far as maybe Democracy Now! Will mention it for a second during the headlines, and then there's no interviews about it.
Find it on the internet. It's all the internet.
So yeah, like I'll maybe hear about it in the background, basically. But it's like, and then the second thing is that the U.S. is directly involved as the A, key ally, B, key funder of
Yes.
Israel.
Yes.
So that's the difference.
Yes.
Right there.
And
we know about this one, and our U.S. government is involved with this one. So this is why we care about it more than the other ones.
Well, right. And even if I grant you that, right? How dare you, stranger on the internet, accuse me of any of that? You don't fucking know me. I could be Sudanese. I could be from Myanmar, motherfucker. You don't know me. It's the level of like presumption that it takes to get from you guys should stop just endlessly massacring Palestinians to you're being anti-Semitic, right? The amount of just brain deadening, insane shit you have to think, right, to get from there to there. Because this is the thing, right? It's like because I'll say some shit in my real life that is well easier to get from one place to anti-Semitism from, even though it's not. I don't think it's anti-Semitic, right? But like saying, for instance, right, that I think that Israel has forfeited its right to exist. I don't actually think that Israel has a right to exist anymore. Okay? I don't think that's anti-Semitic because number one, I know a lot of Jews that would agree with me. And number two, they're not making Jews safer. It's fucking obvious now. Two or 3 days ago, I think. Now, the Israelis bombed a hospital, and then they bulldozed over people who were in tents in the courtyard who were still alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heard about that.
And if that's not Holocaust shit, right? If that's not like, dude, that is Nazi shit. That's Nazi shit. That is fucking somebody, a tweeter of note, whose name is escaping me now, was like, people would freak out if you did that to livestock, right? Like people would freak out if you did that to fucking chickens, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what else to do now, right? So other than just yell at people who still try to justify shit like this, which is insane, right? Like I can't. But then somebody in another place that I frequent, was like, dude, you got to remember, like, a lot of these are bots, man. They are, right? It's not like, when because the way I look at it is, I don't have any way of determining who's a bot and who isn't. So I'm just going to treat everybody like they're not bots, because I think that especially if you accuse a Zionist of being a bot, then that is how you get labeled an anti-Semite. You know what I'm saying?
This is some like art. This is some fucking college art department. Fucking like Joe Biden was like, I'm going to get the NYU people or no, some fucking college that you've never heard of, art department making a Christmas White House video or whatever. And this is what they came up with. It's bad, but
it's stupid and bad. And but it's also off-putting and strange, and I hate it. Right. And it's trying the problem with it is as far as like the aesthetic, the so-called Hunger Games aesthetic, right, is that like, no, that's how they got like an ad agency to like consult on it, right? And so that's why it's all dystopian looking and like, it looks like it. No, never mind. It's like if the Black Hole Sun video was for Christmas.
Okay. So this is what Laura Ingraham had to say. I don't know.
Are they fun? Is it funny because like she sucks?
Yeah. All right. Honestly, I think it's just because there's black people in it. But here you go. This is what it says. If you felt embarrassed and angry to see this woke nonsense at the White House during a time Christians have considered holy for 2,000 years or so.
Oh, yeah, real holy, bitch.
That's the point. They wanted to offend you. Yeah. They did it on purpose because they think they're supporters like that sort of thing, and they do.
They do? Oh, find me somebody that likes that.
Yeah, seriously, no one like that.
No. The only people that like that are the people that go to those like they're adults that go to those like Disney ice skating shows. Yeah. Right? Like, but adults.
Without kids.
They don't bring any kids. Yeah. And those people are the most insane people in all of society. Wait a minute. We are forgetting a major news event that happened pretty recently, that the fallout of which is still happening. And that is the congressional staffers who recorded the gay porn in the Senate chamber. Are you not aware of this?
Huh?
You don't know about this? Two Democratic, like a week ago-ish, maybe a little more, a little less.
What? Okay, tell me what happened.
Two congressional staffers, or at least one congressional staffer, who the picture of the guy just came out, and he's wearing like one of those like leather like BDSM like harness things where like it's like a ring in the middle, and then the leather straps go like up this way and around,
Oh yeah. They're surprisingly comfortable.
I'm sure they are. Not the metal part. That seems like it would hurt a little. But but there was a picture. Either that or it wasn't that guy, and they were just trying to, they were just trying to do that. But I don't think they released the name of the guy. But they have. But it's weird. Like that. All that stuff is weird. But a congressional staffer was like caught bragging about making porn in one of the like Senate like debate rooms or whatever the fuck. It's like one of those like chambers where they go off to the side and they debate. And they sit around the table and like debate a bill or whatever, right? Yeah. And the right wing is having a field day, and all of the like the people that are like, America is like a sacred country, like our institutions are sacred, like those people, right? A lot of the people that are more right leaning, but who thought that January 6th was like an abomination, like those types of people, they those people are freaking out about this, okay? Because like it was a gay porn. It was gay porn, right? Like put like two dudes fucking on the table, right? And
they made a whole thing. It wasn't just like a quick self.
No, yeah, it was like it was like a fucking it wasn't a to be published or like
was
it
there
wasn't
a
like
director involved?
No, it was. I mean, they haven't released the video, or I would have watched it. But but there's stills from it, right? There's like stills that have come out, right? And people are having a field day with it, right? Because the right is going at it from like oh well we can't do or they're doing like there's one memes are like there's one picture of like guys on January 6th like standing in line and like sort of patiently waiting to like visit the Capitol, right? And then on the other side there's like two dudes fucking in the Senate chambers or whatever. And then and oh god, it's my favorite comment about it so far is like well, hey, at least these guys can take back shots. I'm like Ashley Babbitt.
Did you hear about the Republicans released all this like extended footage of the January 6th riot, and they fucking blurred out a bunch of people's faces, and everyone was like, "Well, why are you blurring their faces out?" If it was just this nice, calm, chill event, like this nice little tour that happened.
Well, yeah, especially since whatever, like these fucking like poor election workers and like other random like old people that fucking work at these like that do these like volunteer jobs for democracy or whatever the fuck, like they have their full names out there for everybody, right? Like, oh, okay, so you
like the two people that Rudy Giuliani basically destroyed their lives and reputations, and they've had to move and avoid death threats, racist, attacks and all this shit. It's like interesting. No, but you guys, you're going to blur out their faces because they're doing illegal things?
Or whatever. Or no, they're in a public place. That's fucking bullshit, right? Yeah. They're whatever, like wherever they are, right? They're if it's fucking security cam footage or whatever at the Capitol, are you kidding me? That's the one place where you ain't safe. Your identity is fucking out there. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's fucking
the people, the January 6th people were probably all pretty low IQ people. I mean, if you're gonna be real about it.
Well, they thought there was a couple of them, right, that like, because I watched all those fucking documentaries.
Yeah.
There's nothing more fascinating to me than what what conservative white people think qualifies as revolution. And so after watching all of those documentaries and seeing some of the higher IQ people who like had, who kind of did the thing where like they, because they got away with it, they sort of like dropped their shit and just fucking like walked away, right? Yeah. Like those people, right? Like they're like, okay, yeah, I went there to do the thing, but then like everybody started getting arrested and shit, so I was like, bye. Like, or they spent, like a couple days in jail and then they rolled on like fucking Enrique Tarrio or whatever, like those guys, right? The fucking Proud Boys and shit. Like, it's like
they're like masterminds or whatever they do.
Yeah, and after all that, right? It's like they're all morons, right? But they're they're a very American moron, right? Like we only make that in this country, right? Because like at least in other countries, in their conservative fucking fascist takeovers and revolutions, etc., like they either cover their faces because they know, right? So they put the bandanas over their faces and shit and just don't, they're or whatever. They're somewhat disenfranchised or whatever, right? Like in Brazil and shit like that. It's like, yeah, I'm sure they ain't great, right? It's not super awesome, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no, but our guys are just, they go back to their fucking Ski-Doo dealerships and then they fucking or their pool stores and they fucking and then they just live their lives like it's fine, right? Like, and what they did over there was just fine, just totally fine. Like, and this is the thing that I can't. This is where I hate the liberals and the conservatives equally, right? Because there's one side because the liberals are saying that like, liberals say that like, oh, this is an unprecedented, we must come together to get these people who are trying to attack democracy or whatever. And this is not this isn't political. This should be bipartisan, right? But it's not though. It's not. It's political, right? It is. So stop pretending.